video, I'm going to go over with you a 3-step pricing strategy that we use in our team to get properties sold. So we've been using this for years, and we find that this is the most effective way to explain what the best pricing strategy is for a particular property and a particular client. So there's 3 parts to this. You have your high, your medium, and your low price. This definitely isn't rocket science, but at the same time, it's really so simple when you just break it down like this. So let's start off with the high price. Now, your high price is exactly what it is. It's the highest price that you want to get for your home. So maybe like a dream number, something that seems a little bit out of reach, but you would definitely sell if you get that price. Now you have your medium number. This is going to be the average price that the market is basically saying that your home is worth. So we're looking at comps to get this number and seeing exactly what we think that the market is definitely going to say this home could be sold for. Now you have the low strategy. So this price is going to seem low. It's going to seem like you're leaving money on the table with this strategy. It's going to definitely be lower than the comps are telling you because the comps are going to be the average strategy. So typically people are always like, well, why would I ever want to go with that strategy? And we're going to break that down in this video. I'm going to go through each one of these and what the pros and cons of each one are. So going with the high number. So when you're going with the high strategy, you have to be prepared for something. So time of the essence with this strategy does not come into play because you will sit on the market. You will sit on the market. And if you don't sit on the market, that means that the high number that we went with was actually the average number. So it wasn't the high number after all, because in this strategy, you know that your days on market are going to accumulate and you're just waiting for that buyer who is going to pay that premium price. So we hardly ever suggest going with that strategy because if you truly want to get your home sold, this is not going to be the direction to go in. Because if you think about it, it's more of like, it would be nice to sell my home at this price. I hope I can sell my home at this price, rather than using any data to figure out where the market is actually saying your home's worth is. So that's going to be the strategy. Now is the average strategy, which is where most people fall into. Now, this is going to be looking at the comps, seeing exactly what other people with similar properties are getting for their home, and pricing it right around that number or even at that number directly. Now, and like I said, most people are going to fall into this strategy. Now, something to keep in mind, what type of market are you in when going on the market? Are you in a buyer's or a seller's market? So in a buyer's market, this strategy can still be a little disappointing because there are most likely so many properties on the market that buyers have their pick of the choice here, and there's just not really any competition from the buyer side. So you may get an offer right away. If you don't get an offer within 2 weeks, especially within a month, then that number that you originally thought was average in that buyer's market is actually the high number, because in that buyer's market with that demand at that time, you're not getting any numbers. So with this strategy, you should be getting something within the first 2 weeks or a month for sure. Now in a seller's market, this number can become the low number because there might be a bidding war. There might be tons of showings on the property, a lot of interest. And then that's why I say it's very, very important when going over each of these pricing strategies to know, are you in a buyer's market or a seller's market? Now, because that will, again, affect each one of these strategies and which one you should go with. Now, let's go with the low strategy. Now, you might be thinking, why would I ever go with the low strategy? That just makes no sense. And here is the psychology behind the low strategy and why I actually love this strategy so much. So when you price low, 2 things are going to happen. You are going to get a bidding war, so that's best case scenario. And I guess worst case scenario would be that you don't get a bidding war and maybe you get one offer on the property or the property just sits on the market. Now, bidding war strategy, great, that's what you want it to happen. So typically, when a bidding war happens on a property, you end up making more than if a bidding war didn't happen on that property. So even though you priced it low, if you got a bidding war and were able to drive the price up, you might actually end up getting more than if you put it in that average medium pricing strategy. So in that market, it actually did work for your favor because the low pricing strategy drove the price up anyway. Now, let's go over the second scenario, which is there's no interest, you're not getting any offers. So this is basically telling you that the price was not priced low. It actually could be the average price and you thought it was the low price. So it's basically telling you that it's not a low price for the market that you're in right now. And I know that that could be frustrating to hear, but this is how you test out the market and see where it is at that time. So over the past 3 years, we have seen cycles in the market, crazy cycles in the market. So cycles that we've really never seen before in such a short amount of time. So if you think about it, one of these strategies might have worked really, really good during that seller's market, but then during that buyer's market, not so much. So that's why I think it's very, very important to sit down with your agent and figure out, am I in a buyer's market and a seller's market? And then once you figure that out, which one of these strategies makes the most sense with today's market. So if you are leaning towards the high or medium pricing strategy and you don't want to go with the low strategy, then think about, do you really want to sell? Or do you really need to sell right now? The answer to that most of the time is probably going to be no. And that's completely okay. We go to our clients all the time when they're selling a home and ask them, do you really want to sell? Do you want to take this off the market? And if the answer is yes, I want to take it off the market, or no, I don't want to sell, we are okay with that. Like, we want to work with people who we can truly provide value to, and maybe selling your home when you don't really want to sell it at a really low price is not valuable to you. That makes sense. That's completely okay. So that's why I really, really want you to take a look at your situation. I want you to take a look at what's going on in the market right now, because all of these factors are going to help you decide which pricing strategy is going to be best for you. Like I said, I really like the strategies down here, because if you really want to sell and need to sell, this is actually going to get you more money in the long run. And it might seem risky, but it's really, really testing the market and seeing where it really is. So I hope this helped you figure out exactly how we go about pricing on our team. So if you guys have any questions or any stories that you want to share about when you sold your property or put it on the market or something like that, please share it in the comments, because as always, I love hearing from you guys.